how to network as an introvert. Tip number one, the first one is to show up, simply to just show up. With me, when I was in one role in my engineering career, and there was this team, and every day, the same guy would ask me if I wanted to come to lunch. He's like, hey, Terrence, why don't you come to lunch with us? We're gonna go to this, place off site, or we're gonna go down to the caf, and every time I would decline, like every time, right? And this went on for probably the first like 3 weeks I was in the group. This guy would ask me like every day, and every time I would say no. And I would just eat my lunch right there at my desk, or I would go down to the caf by myself, to the cafeteria. And I just said no every time until eventually, he just stopped asking, and I look back on it, and, I should have just went. I mean, not saying that I would have went every single time, but I should have at least went once, because I didn't end up being very close to the people on that team. And ultimately, I think that hurt me. I didn't really have a relationship with the other engineers and some of, the other people I was working with. I really kind of kept to myself in that role. This was a lot earlier on in my career, and I think that hurt me, in that position. So I think the first thing is just to show up, right? So if your coworkers invite you to something, if your family members invite you to an outing, all of these different situations, relationships are built through spending time, right? They're built through conversations. And I understand that for a lot of us introverts, there are a lot of times where we don't want to do that. Like, I'd rather be at the house, I'd rather be watching my Netflix or reading a book, or I'd rather just be at a coffee shop, having a cup of coffee, just, in my thoughts, relaxing, not being around anybody, right? And the thing is, you can have both. You can have those moments of time to yourself, time to regroup, and you can also have those moments of networking and meeting people, right? So it's about just, finding that balance and just making sure that you at least show up to something. You don't want to get the reputation or become the person that's never coming to anything, right? So tip number one, just show up. It does make a huge difference. Okay, so the second one is big, and it is to be yourself. Be yourself. I've talked about that a lot on this platform. Is just authenticity, right? You don't have to be something you're not. Truth be told, people are drawn to authentic people. When you try to be something else, people can tell, and it's really not attractive. I've made this mistake. I've done this. There are times where I tried to appear more extroverted, maybe, than I was, in terms of talking loud or talking different, or certain things like that. And the reality is, I know who I am, and I'm comfortable with that. And I'm glad that I found my footing in that. So, just being yourself. You don't have to be an extrovert if you're not an extrovert. Like, you may see certain people at your job, or in the business world you're in, or in your family, certain friends, and it may seem like their life is better. It may seem like they're winning, or things are going a certain way. And so you might think to yourself, oh, well, I need to act that way in order to be successful. I need to be like that in order to win. But the reality is, you're good being who you are. Whoever you are is who you need to be. Doesn't mean you don't need to make adjustments, right? I mean, that's the point of like this video and other things that you see, right? Is, it's all about us growing and getting better. But at the core of you, your personality and who you are, be you, be who you are, right? People are attracted to that. And the easiest thing in this world to be is to be yourself. So as long as you're doing that, you're going to be good. And so when you are networking and when you are meeting new people, people are going to be drawn to that. They're going to realize, hey, this person is being who they are. They're not trying to fake it. This is who they are. And I'm good with that. Okay, so the last tip, and kind of touched on this slightly during the first one, is to find your balance. Find your balance. And so what does that mean? It just simply means that you don't necessarily have to go out all of the time, right? But you also don't want to never go out at all. So what is that balance that's good for you? So it may be that, at your job, they meet up for a social gathering or a happy hour once a week. and that's just too much for you, right? You need to have your downtime. You need to have your time where you can just kind of relax. And so maybe what you say is, hey, well, I'm going to go once a month, right? Or I'm going to go twice a month, or whatever. It may be that you never go to anything, and for you to just go once is a huge step. Well, then that's fine. Find whatever your balance is in terms of your networking and meeting people. But whatever you do, you just want to make sure that you are at least are showing up, you're cultivating those relationships, you're being yourself. And as long as you have that balance, what it's going to do is it's going to allow you time to socially recharge when you don't feel like being there, when you don't feel like being around people. But it's also going to allow you to make the relationships as well. So you get the best of both worlds that way. So find your balance, makes a huge difference. All right, so that has been 3 ways as introverts that we can network in 2021. So listen, I know there's going to be a lot of different things going on. Obviously, COVID has changed things and people haven't been out as much. We'll see what happens this year. But in your journey toward networking and meeting people and how to navigate the social world as an introvert, just remember these 3 tips. And in the comments, let me know what works for you. What is the best approach for you when it comes to networking and meeting new people? So I'll say for me, one of the best things is tip number 3 is finding my balance. Like that's the big one for me. But I want to know what it is for you all. So let me know in the comments. Let me know you all's thoughts on the video as well. Hope this was helpful. And hey, it's been Made Leader Mondays. Welcome to 2021. And we will talk again later. God bless.